Hello, everybody. I think I'm on. Yep. Hey, guys. How are ya? We're going to make some mozzarella cheese today. I have almost everything set up. So for the mozzarella cheese, you're going to need a half a gallon of milk. I already started pouring some in here. So let's finish pouring this in. So you need a half a gallon of whole milk, guys. A half a gallon of whole milk. And a nice wooden spoon to stir with. So we're going to get this milk going. Hi, Roy Matthew. Hi, user 11603. Hello. Okay, so I got my milk on medium heat, guys, and I'm just going to start stirring this. We're making mozzarella cheese today. Hello, Renee Run. Loves Run. Hello, Tiffany Delaney. Hello, Tanya. Hello, Bella. So we're making mozzarella today, guys. Mozzarella. It'll take a little bit for this to come up to temp. And then we're going to watch for it to simmer a little bit. Hi, Renee. It's almost like when we were making the ricotta, but this has a couple different little steps that we're going to do. So that's what we're going to do right now. Hi, Gigi. Hi, Spill. Hi, Nina. Hi, Black Cat. Hi, Lori. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Betty. Hello, everybody. We're making mozzarella cheese today. Hi, Donna. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Colleen. Mozzarella cheese today, guys. So it's only a couple ingredients. So I'm doing a half a gallon of whole milk. And we're going to bring it up to temp to where we get our little bubbles on the top. And then we're going to add a third of a cup of white vinegar. And when I add the white vinegar, we're going to stir it for about a minute and then shut it off, and we're going to put a lid on it and let it sit for 15 minutes. Hi, Joe. Hi, Mrs. Fluffy. Hi, Annette. Hey, Sarah. We're going to let it sit for 15 minutes, and then we're going to pull the curds out of the whey, and then I'm going to squeeze it with the cloth here. We're going to squeeze it, and then I'm going to put it in the microwave for 30 seconds, and then we're going to hand pull it. Hey, Cynthia. Hey, Cheryl. We're going to hand pull it. After we do the microwave, we'll hand pull it, and then we're going to put it in a bowl of ice water for 10 minutes. Hey, William. Hey, Penny, Sherry, Pinky. And we'll put it in the ice water for 15 minutes, and then we'll pull it out of the ice water, and then we can slice it up and have a slice of mozzarella. So that's what we're doing. And we should get about 1.5 pounds of mozzarella, I want to say. Hi, Miss Kitty. Hey, Joseph. Hi, user 7728. Hey, Vanita. Hi, Tina. Hi, Max. Hey, Judy. So we're making mozzarella today, guys. Mozzarella. Hi, Linda. Hi, Jan. Hi, Angel. Hi, Richard. Hi, Shirley. Hi, White Angel. Hi, Christy. We're making mozzarella today, guys. Mozzarella. Hey, Penny. Hey, Donna. So the weather here is a little chilly today. How about your guys' weather? Our weather's a little chilly here today. So I'm going to, once this gets up to temp, I'm going to put it in here in a cloth. and then we'll just put the curds right down in here once we get to that point. What else do I need to get out? I need to get out a ladle. Need to get this out. Hey guys, we're making mozzarella today. Hey mommy, hey user. Hi Cheryl. Hey Cece. Bobby Ann, hi. So we're getting up there. We're almost up to temp. We're almost up to temp, guy. Hi Gina. Hi Jeanette. Hi Julie. So we're making mozzarella today, guys. Hi Kathy. Hi Susie. Hi Loopy. So I did a cake the other day and then I was off for one day, but I'm back today, so I figured I'd just make some mozzarella. And this week coming up, I'll be working on probably stuff that I'm going to need. We're doing our Easter on Saturday. Hi Joe, hi Dana, hi Sandra. Our grandson's coming home from college on Friday, and he has to be back on Sunday, so we're doing Easter on Saturday. Hi Dana. Hi Sharon. Hey Joe. Hi Candace. So we're looking for the steam to come up, and you guys probably can't see it, but I can see the steam starting to come up. And that's what we want. We want that steam to come up. Hi Nanette. Hey Paige. Hey Dana. We're making mozzarella today, guys. It's almost like when I made the ricotta, but it's a little bit different. There's a couple extra steps that you have to do to this than you do to the ricotta. Once you pull the ways out of the ricotta, you're pretty much done. Once you pull the curds out of the way and you strain it, it's pretty much done. But this one here, you got to do a few other things. Hey Cynthia. Okay, so we need this to be to like 115, and we need to start seeing bubbles go across the top, so I'm going to stop stirring it for a minute. And that's what I'm looking for, is the little bubbles to start around on the outer edge. Once you start seeing those little bubbles on the outer edge, you're good to go. Yeah, make sure you guys stir it. Whenever you're stirring it, make sure you stir it, because you don't want it to burn on the bottom. Hi Billy, hi Teresa. Okay, so I think we're there. So we're going to do our vinegar. So we need a third of a cup of vinegar, guys. A third of a cup of white vinegar. I'm going to set that down and make sure I got a third. You want to make sure it's right where you want it, okay? Okay, so I'm going to start pouring it in a circle, and then I'm going to stir this for 1 minute. Alexa, set the timer for 1 minute. You can already see the curds forming in here. You can already see the curds forming, guys. I can pull it up. You can see the curds forming? It's already starting to form. That's how quick it is. That's how quick it goes. Now, you're going to have a lot of whey left. You can keep your whey, and you can use it, like if you want to make, I don't know, bread or whatever. You can use that for it. And if you make the ricotta, you want to keep a jar of your whey, because the ricotta, being it's homemade and there's no additives and stuff like that in there, you'll want to keep some of that whey, because it'll thicken up, and then you add a little bit of whey into it to loosen it up. If you stop at this and you make ricotta, Okay, guys? So I'm going to shut my burner off and I'm going to move it over to the other side. Alexa, set a timer for 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
I'm going to let this sit on this burner for 10 minutes. It's fine. I'll just leave it sit there. It's fine. Make sure you shut your other one off. We're making ricotta, or not ricotta, mozzarella today, guys. We're making mozzarella today. So while that's done and doing, I'm going to fill this up with ice, guys. I'm going to fill this up. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Wait. Let me get another bowl. We're going to need 2 bowls. Hi, Susan. Hi, Birdie. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Carolyn. So we're going to need 2 bowls, guys. I mean, you can use 1, but I'm going to use 2. Hi, everybody. Hi, Vivi. Hi, Nancy. So I'm going to take this bowl over and I'm going to put some ice in it. And then I'm going to fill it up with some water because I want this to be ice water. Hi, Nancy. So I'm going to go get me some ice. Hold on. Hold that pot. Okay, guys, so this bowl is just about full with ice and ice water, okay? Hi, Nancy. Hi, Kathy. So you're going to want this after we take the curds out and put them in here and squeeze them, we're going to put it in the ice water. Okay, guys? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to carefully move this pot and I'm going to set it over here. And I'm going to get rid of some of this stuff so we can do what we need to do. Okay. Let's put this here. And we'll put this here. We got 7 minutes, guys. We got 7 minutes. Hi, Patty. Hey, Jackie. Hey, Kat. What's it like in everybody else's states? Is it cold or is it nice? It's chilly here today, guys. Yep, it's chilly in Myrtle Beach today. Hey, Rick. Hey, Alexander. Christine, hi. Hi, Lori. Hi, Sherry Bear. Hi, Renee. Oh, is it cold there? 37. Where are you at? Midwest? Hi, Amy. Hi, Jackie. Hey, Jeanette. Ohio, yes. My brother called yesterday from Illinois, and he said it was 80 degrees or 82 degrees the day before, and it dropped all the way down to 36. Hey, Bean. Hey, Debbie. Hey, Mary. Hello, Mary Mac. Hey, how are you guys? We're making mozzarella. We're just waiting for the timer so we have 5 minutes left, and then we're going to pull the curds out of the way and put it in here, and then we're going to squeeze it, and then it's going to go into this bowl, and we're going to put it in the microwave for 30 seconds, and then we're going to pull it. Now it's going to be warm, so when you guys go to do it, some of you guys might want to wear a glove. It'll be a little bit warm. It's not going to burn you because you're going to be moving really fast, and you're just going to start folding it and folding it and folding it. And when you take it out of the microwave, if there's any whey in here, we're just going to put it over out of the way because we don't want any. We're going to try to squeeze as much out as we can. Hi, Queen Cheryl. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to, as soon as the timer goes off, I'm going to bring the pot over here and we're going to start pulling the curds out of the way. And then we're going to put them in here and I'm going to squeeze them and squeeze as much as I can out of it. And then we're going to put it in this bowl and it's going to go in the microwave. This actually might be too big. Anyway, we're going to put a bowl in the microwave for 30 seconds, guys. 30 seconds. And then we're going to stretch it. So I think I'm going to switch a bowl. I think I'm going to switch the bowl. I think we're going to go with this bowl. Because it's lower. Hi. How are you guys? Hi, Melanie. Hi, Sandy. So we're making homemade mozzarella today. Homemade mozzarella, guys. And we got a little under 3 minutes, and then we're going to start pulling these curds out. I'm going to bring it over here, and you guys you'll be able to see. I can lift some up, and you can look. You see that? So there's all the curds. So as soon as you're, so you need 1 gallon of milk, not a gallon, a half a gallon of milk, and a third of a cup of clear vinegar. But you got to make sure that this is up to temp. And the way you can tell it's up to temp is you'll start to get little bubbles on the outer edge of your pan. And if you do it on a medium heat, for a half a gallon, it took about maybe 15 minutes. It should take about 15 minutes. And you'll start to see little bubbles gather on the outer edge of your pan. Once you see those bubbles starting to gather, you can do your third of a cup of vinegar and put it in there. Hey Susan, how are you? Hi Sunshine McCain. Hi Ashley Edwards. So anyway, we're waiting for this to ding, and then we're going to start pulling these curds out of this, out of the way. And then we're going to squeeze it. Hey Joe, hey Sue. Hey Kay, how are you? Is it cold there? We're making mozzarella cheese today, guys. Mozzarella cheese, that's what we're making today. It won't be a long live, but we're making mozzarella cheese. I can't wait to eat some of it. Hey Pan. Hi Charlotte. Hi Betty. So if you're just jumping on here, we're making mozzarella cheese. You need a half a gallon of whole milk. You got to make sure it's whole milk. Bring it on a medium heat. Takes about 15 minutes. You start to get those little bubbles on the outer edge, and you put a third of a cup of white vinegar in it, and then you let it set for 10 minutes. Our timer's going to be going off. Then we're going to pull the curds out of the way, and then we're going to squeeze it. Once we squeeze it and get everything out that I can get out of it, I'm going to put it in this dish, and we're going to put it in the microwave for 30 seconds. Okay, guys? Hi, Jacqueline. And then we're going to stretch it with our hands before we do anything else. So, we are bearing down on it. We are under a minute, guys. Hey, Janice. Hey, never mind. That's a good name. Hey, Violet. Hey, Annie. Hi, Martha. Hi, Patsy. Oh. Hey, April. Hey, Sally Ann. Okay, we're almost there. We're going to start pulling these out. Hi, Billy. Yes, this pan's hot. This pan is hot. Hey, Louise. Hi, Sherry. What are you guys making for dinner tonight? I'm not sure what we're going to have for dinner tonight. I haven't even decided on that. Our son had Chinese, so I don't know what me and Terry will do. Well, it'll be something with mozzarella. I'm sure. Or we might just eat it. Mozzarella and pepperoni and crackers or something. Okay, we're getting ready to ding ding ding. Alexa, stop. Okay guys, we're gonna start taking, can you see the, we're gonna start taking them out and putting them in here. All the curds. You can save your whey. You can save your whey. So you should get about 1.5 pounds of mozzarella, guys. You should get about 1.5 pounds of mozzarella. Yes, we're making homemade mozzarella. I mean, you think about it, back in the day, they had to do this. They didn't, you know, they just couldn't go to the store and buy mozzarella. They just couldn't go and get whatever they wanted. They had to make it. And that's why I said, if you stop at this process here, this will be your ricotta once you strain it. Yes, there's cheesecloth here. If you wanted just ricotta, this would be the end step. But you definitely want to keep like a small jar of your whey, because there is no preservatives in this, so it starts to get a little thick, and then you want to add a little bit of whey to it so it doesn't get real thick on you. Because the last time I made it, I kept a, I think it was a quart-size bottle, and I used about half of it. And I made a double batch. Well, I don't know if it was a double batch, but anyway, I made a gallon, and I got a gallon of milk, and I got 3.5 pounds of ricotta. So you want to try to get all your curds, because, I mean, you want to make sure you get all your cheese, right? So you want to get everything that you possibly can get. Now, what is a pound of mozzarella at the store nowadays? What is it? $6, $7? I wish I saw this from the beginning. Okay, Vicki, it's very simple. We're making mozzarella. So all you need for this is a half a gallon of whole milk, okay? And you let it on a medium heat, and you let it cook maybe about 15 minutes until you start to see little bubbles around the edge of your pan. That's when you pour in 1/3 cup of white vinegar. And then you stir it for 1 minute, and then you set it aside for 10 minutes. And after that, then you start pulling out your curds. Okay, so I'm done with that. So this is all the whey I have. So I'm going to put this over here. We're going to save that. Okay? So if you are making ricotta, this would be the end stop. You would let it drain, and you could add seasonings to it if you wanted, and you would have your ricotta. So that would be ricotta right here. You would be done, and that would be your ricotta in this bowl. See it there? But being we're making mozzarella, there's another step, a couple steps. So what we're going to do is bring this up. Now, when I made, hi Miss Linda, when I made a gallon of, when I did a gallon, I ended up with 3.5 pounds of ricotta. But today we are making mozzarella. Can you guys see the, I don't know, let me see, let me move this stuff. So, I'm trying to squeeze it out. Just try to squeeze out as much as you can, guys. Just keep squeezing. Okay. I think we got it. Hi, Virginia. Hey, Missy. Okay, now we're going to take and open this up. Look at that. You guys see it? Okay, so you just want to pull off your cheesecloth. Now, you can wash this cheesecloth, guys, okay? So I want to make sure I get all my stuff off here. I want to make sure I get it all. I want to make sure I get all this cheese off here. It's important. Okay. All right. Now, put that there. We're going to take this. Hi, guys. Hi, Donna. We're going to take this, and I'm going to put this in the microwave for 30 seconds, okay? 30 seconds, guys. That's it. 30 seconds. That's all you need. And then you got a bowl here of ice water, okay? That's going to be the next step. Now I'm going to get a plate. So I don't even know what it is for. Hi, Olivia. I don't even know how much it is for a pound of fresh mozzarella. I'd have to Google that, but I know you're saving money doing it this way. Okay, guys. So that was 30 seconds. Then you're going to pick this. Now, I told you it's going to be warm, right? I told you. Warm, warm, warm. You got to start picking this up. It's hot. Hot, warm. I should probably have gloves, but I don't. Just start patting it. I'm going to get it on here. That'll cool it off some. So when you're doing this, it's pulling out more water, okay? More of the way. You're pulling out more of the way when you're doing this. Just keep turning it. You want to turn it for maybe 5 minutes, guys. 5 minutes. Hi, Lacey. Hi, Christine. Hi, Sharon. So 5 minutes you want to turn this. And it is warm. It is warm. Hi, Carol. Hi, Dagnit. Hi, Ramo. If I say your guys' name wrong, I'm sorry. If I butcher it, I'm sorry. Look at this. Right? Right, guys? So you should probably have a little over maybe a pound. I'm going to say a pound. Okay? Hi, Donna. We are making homemade mozzarella, guys. Homemade mozzarella. Look at that ball. Okay. Now, we are going to put it in ice water. So, I put ice in here, and then I filled it up with ice water. Hi, Vicki. In it goes. And then in goes some salt. I want to say maybe 2 teaspoons. 2 teaspoons. You don't want a whole bunch because that mozzarella will soak up the salt. You're just making a brine. You're making a brine. And I'm going to get a little bit more water. Alexa, set the timer for 10 minutes. So with that salt,
Starting now.
with that salt, you're making a brine, guys. You're making a brine. So this is going to sit in there for 10 minutes. And then after that, it's ready to eat. It's ready to eat. Now, remember I told you your hands are going to, that is warm. So my hands are a little red, but I mean, if you want to put on the black gloves, the black plastic gloves, you won't feel any of the heat. And as for this can be washed, okay? And this is how much came out. I don't know. Let me see here. We'll see how much is in here. We'll see how much is in here. So when I ladled it out, I ended up getting 2/3 of a cup of whey out of there. I think I missed something. Oh, let me see. Who is this? Let me go back. I think I missed something. Did you put that in ice water or what? Yes. So after you take it out of the microwave, you work it with your hands for like 5 minutes. It's very warm. I mean, you can touch it. That's why I took it out of the bowl, out of the microwave, and put it on here. You need to work it and stretch and work it for about 5 minutes. Then you need to put it in a bowl of ice water for 10 minutes with about 2 teaspoons of salt. No more than that. You're making like a brine. You don't want any more than 2 teaspoons of salt because if you put the mozzarella will soak it up in there. So only 2 teaspoons of salt goes in here. And this is sitting for 10 minutes in the ice bath. And then it's ready to eat. You can eat it. And then I was saying whenever I squeezed it, I got 2/3 of a cup by squeezing. And then I have a whole pan of whey over here. I'm not exactly sure what all we can do with the whey, but I'll research that. Well, I know if you make noodles, you can use this for your noodles. So maybe I'll make some noodles today. Hi, Sarah. Okay, so what I was saying that was warm is when you take this out of the microwave, it's very warm when you start to knead it. And if you have like rubber gloves for cooking, like the black ones, you won't feel the heat. But as you can see, my hands are a little red, but it doesn't bother me. So when this dings, this will be ready to slice and eat, guys. It's done. And by looking at it, I'd say I got a little over a pound from a half a gallon of milk. So the whey that's left, I can make noodles with it. Could probably make bread with it, but I will search out what else I can make with it. There's no sense of getting rid of it. You might as well use it, right? Hi, Sarah. So as soon as that dings, I'm going to pull it out, and then we're going to slice it up and see what it looks like. Okay, guys? I'm going to get rid of this and put it over at my sink. Oh, gosh. I have to show you guys what my sister got me when I went to Illinois. Isn't this cute? It's for a Mr. Scrubber. And he sits over your faucet. And if there's water, it comes out of here so it doesn't get all over your counter. Isn't that cute? A friend of hers, he 3D printed it. I think he's so cute. So everybody was asking me where I was going and why I wasn't on here. My sister-in-law had a surprise birthday party for my brother, but I couldn't say where I was going or what I was making all those cookies for. I actually, when I got on the plane, I traveled to Illinois with those cookies. So that's what I was doing. But I couldn't say anything because he watches my lives, and then he would have heard it. So my mom didn't know I was coming. There was only 3 people that knew I was coming to Illinois. And we had to keep it that way because, well, a lot of people talk. So we just couldn't tell anybody. So my mom didn't know. My brother, only one sister knew, and my sister-in-law and my cousin. That's it. That's the only people that knew I was coming to town. We are at 4 minutes. So at 4 minutes, I'm going to pull this out of the bowl and we're going to slice it down. So if you're just getting on here, we made homemade mozzarella today. We made homemade mozzarella. I have 11 messages. I don't know how to do that. Well, I'll have to look when I get off. Anyhow, guys, so for homemade mozzarella, you need exactly 3 ingredients, okay? You need a half a gallon of whole milk. Make sure it's whole. You need a third of a cup of vinegar and some salt. And that's it. Well, and water. I mean, you know, that's, water is not really an ingredient, but anyhow, you just need that. The salt and the water is to give him a bath after you're done with everything else. So you take your half a gallon of milk, you pour it in your pot, you cook it for about 15 minutes, and make sure you stir it. You don't want the bottom to scorch. And then once you start seeing the little bubbles around the top, you pour in a third of a cup of clear vinegar, stir it for a minute, let it sit for 10 minutes, pull out the curds, strain it really good. You should get about 2/3 of a cup after you strain it. And then you put it in the microwave for 30 seconds only. 30 seconds only. Pull it out of the microwave and you knead it. You knead it for about 5 minutes. Then it goes into an ice bath, ice water, with about 2 teaspoons of salt. Don't put any more than that because the mozzarella will suck it up. It'll suck up that salt, so you don't want, I gotta play with it, you guys. I gotta touch it. Anyhow, you don't want any more than 2 teaspoons because the mozzarella will soak it up, okay? So that's all you need, and then you need to put it in the ice bath for 10 minutes, and we are down to 2 minutes. So when it comes out, I'm going to, let me get a paper towel. I need a paper towel and a knife. Good old knife to give it a little slice and give it a taste. So I don't know what I'm going to make for dinner, but maybe I'll make some noodles with my whey. And I might make, since I have everything out, I might go ahead and make some ricotta, but I've already done that on here with you guys, so I won't do it again with you guys on here, but I definitely will be making more ricotta. Definitely. Because I'm out. I used it all. I wanted to use it before I left to go on to Illinois, so I do not have any ricotta left. Maybe a smaller knife. I don't think I need that big of a knife, but we'll see. Okay. We're coming down on the wire. We're coming down. I am not a patient person, so when it gets to like 2 minutes, I'm like, okay, let's go. And it's about ready to come out. So we have, for a half a gallon of milk, it's like $1.79 here. I don't know what it's like at your guys' place. And for the vinegar, let's see. Well, this was a half a gallon, so, and this was $2. So, and you're only using a third, so you're saving big time, especially if you use the whey. You're definitely saving. Yep. Okay, guys, we're getting ready to pull her out. It'll be ding, 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 surprise. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alexa, stop. There she is. There she is, guys. How does that look for you? Let me set this aside. And I'm just going to put her on here and dab off some of this water. Because I don't want water on it. Okay, guys. There you are. That is about 1.5 pounds of, you see that? You see that? There we go. Oh my God. Y'all gotta make this. You all gotta make this. I don't know why my thing was stuck. You guys definitely need to make this. Hi Laura, hi Rosemary. So, there it is. Mozzarella. You can taste just a little hint of the salt. Just very little. But, can you see? You guys see? And then here's the inside. So you guys gotta try this. So hi guys. So 1/2 gallon of milk, $1.79 is what it cost, and 1/3 cup of vinegar. And for that 1/2 gallon of vinegar, I paid $2.99 for it. It says, "Hi TJ Jax." Anyhow, you guys gotta try this because I think you'll like it. How much is 1.5 pounds of fresh mozzarella going for at an Italian store, right? So, 2 ingredients, you can do it. And it's heavy, it tastes good. I mean, I wish you guys could, like, really feel it and see it. When my son comes home tonight, he'll be able to taste it. Hey, Brenda. So if you just jumped on here, that's how simple it was, guys. That's how simple it was. A half a gallon of whole milk, medium heat. Bring it to where it's just starting to get boils. Once it does, add 1/3 cup of your clear vinegar, your white vinegar, 1/3 cup. Pour it in, stir it for a minute, take it off the burner, let it sit for 10 minutes. Once it sits for 10 minutes, you pull out the curds, strain it. Once I strain it, I got about 2/3 cup of whey after straining it. Then I got this, I put it in a microwave for 30 seconds, and then you knead it. You knead it. After 30 seconds, you knead it. Your hands are going to be a little warm. If you have gloves, wear gloves if you're very heat sensitive. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Gator Girl. You knead it for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, then you put it in an ice bath with 2 teaspoons of salt. No more than that, guys, because the salt will soak into the mozzarella, okay? After 10 minutes, you got about 1.5 pounds of fresh mozzarella. So, I think you guys can do it. Enjoy it. I hope you try it. And if you do, give me a shout out and let me know. Everybody, I hope you like, follow, and share me, and I'll be on tomorrow. Talk to you later. Bye. Bye, guys.